Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. We are walking live this morning, and I was thinking about talking about um, flu season approaching. So, with flu season approaching, we'll just talk. And right now, um, it's what kind of day is it today? It's supposed to be 4 degrees warmer than yesterday. I didn't get to stretch. I've kind of got a thick muscle in the back of my leg. So I'm not certain how this walk is, but we're just gonna walk and talk today and invite everybody on that wants to come on. I tell you, we're just trying to get acclimated to um, coming on live. What are we doing today? You're going straight and then all the way around. Do you know how many? Is it a 1.5? Did anybody look up to see how many miles we're on?
Yeah, we'll see how many miles.
Okay, so Joyce's we're gonna check and see. We're gonna do the outer part of the mall, the outer part of the park today. And I have a client today, so we're gonna get our walk and talk in. I'm not certain can if you can hear me or not. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my earbud off. Uh, and let me go ahead and get Donna Kay on the screen. I see her feet walking. Oh, there she is. Okay, so gonna go ahead and bring Joyce on. And like I said, we're going to be walking and talking, but we're all going to be on the platform. If anybody wants to come on the platform this morning, you're welcome to do so. Okay, so stand by, everybody. Let me get Donna
Donna
Kay
K
on the
on the
stream.
screen.
And Bruce, I'm going to add you to the stream. Okay, so let's walk and talk, y'all. She got to hold it up.
Yeah. Oh, you said I got to turn. Oh.
All right. So we're all walking and talking this morning. So I think we have to get our speed going, everybody. That way, if you want to walk ahead, you can walk ahead. Bruce, good morning, Bruce.
Good morning.
Okay, so if you want to walk and talk, get your walk on. That way you can do what you need to do. I think we're close together, so everybody will be on their own pace. And then if anybody comes in, I'll add them to the screen.
Add me back
All
on
right,
there.
let's talk.
Oh, there we go.
Bruce might as well take his off because, okay,
He's
y'all,
on.
let me give you something to look at. Hold on for a minute. Oh, okay. I'm sending. Uh-uh. Okay, so we got birthdays this morning. Want to say good morning.
Okay.
Bruce,
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
following you. Bruce,
Huh?
I'll be following you because we're on the outskirts.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about flu season. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Now
right.
we can hear.
So We were talking about flu season, and we're just walking while we're waiting for people to come on. So, what have you guys been doing? What kind of healthy choices have you been making?
Joyce?
Well, I've been eating right and walking. I do my walk daily now. I missed one morning walking and
And
just basically clean eating.
like what? What kind of foods have you been eating? I'm sure the people want to know.
Mostly chicken and fish, salmon, shrimp, all seafoods, fresh vegetables when I can get a fresh green vegetables. No rice, very few carbs. Just the carbs come from my vegetables. No fruits. Uh,
And did you reach any goals this morning or this week? What kind of
I
goals
did.
did you
I
reach?
actually lost inches. I haven't stepped on the scale or have I measured myself, but I do have a pair of pants that are loose. So I've made some progress. I'm going to measure today.
Okay, Bruce, I don't think he realized he's on live. You looking away? What have you been doing, Bruce?
Just been working out on my stair stepper and been eating right. Let's see, greens. Uh, Made a big pot of greens and let's see, six. What is it? Six. Trying to think. Six. Not pounds. So just portion control. Portion control. And walking. And actually, I have a physical job, so on my job, I be moving and going up and down out of my in and out of my truck. So yeah, just trying to stay healthy.
Okay, so that's one thing I think people don't realize, you know, that the walking, doing your regular job is not exercise. And a lot of people think that that is. Not that I'm saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that a lot of people think that that's exercising. And right now during flu season, it's best to get, we've got COVID and the flu season approaching. And so I'm kind of waiting on our guests to come on so we can talk about this and have a more uh
Diverse conversation.
yeah, and just basically to let people to know that, you know, we can um talk about it and get different point of views as to what people are doing um to boost their immune system, because we keep saying boost your immune system. I think people hear us talking, but they don't know what to do to boost the immune system. And so that's what I was waiting for our guest to come on. She did text me and said, "Hey, thank you," but I'm not certain. I know she has a child, not a tot, well, a toddler. So we'll just keep walking and talking. But yeah, that's the thing. When you're really trying to make healthy choices, uh, that's the thing I'm talking about. It's like you really have to zone in. Some people just go through the motion, and that's what we need to talk about. We need to have a conversation about going through the motion. definitely, if you're really serious about your walk, it's deeper than that. You can't just go through the motion. You got to really understand what you're eating. Some people think they know that they're eating healthy, but then what happens? It's just what they get off the internet. You got to go with your blood. You really have to know what you're putting in your system. So that's why I keep saying, what's the sense of supporting if people aren't going to do their due diligence? If you really want to uh, get in alignment, it's deeper than just going through the motions. So that's what I was talking to our guest, well, the other guest about, how can we get people to really resonate with what's being said and to literally make the effort um, of making healthy choices. Otherwise, most people are just going through the motions, saying that they're doing what they want to do, but are they really? It's just like people saying they trusting and believing in God, but are they really? Because the temple, which is your body, we have to tweak that. And it's constant tweaking. It's not just doing the same thing over and over. So what do you think about that? I mean, what is it that you would like to do different? Or what is it that you're not doing? Because we're letting people know we're making healthy choices. But what is that exactly? What are people really doing? Donna Kay?
So right now there's a lot of on YouTube and Facebook, on Instagram. There's a lot of trending diets and um, I guess lifestyle changes. Keto being one, which I lost with keto, but I gained as well. Good morning.
Morning.
But I gained back that weight plus some once I
Okay.
did have my piece of cake. So now I'm not depriving myself. If I want it, I eat it.
Okay.
I do watch my macros still. And I think too, with meal planning, helps me out a lot. That way I'm not eating out and just picking up something out of the house that's not ready to eat. And when I say ready to eat, meals that I prepared.
Okay. Well, our guest is here. So I'm going to bring her on so we can have a deeper conversation about people doing the right thing, mind, body, and soul, and also, getting into alignment and a different approach. So let's welcome our guest, Alicia.
Good morning, Alicia.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you
Good
guys?
morning, good morning, good morning. How are
How's
you?
everybody? I'm good. I'm good.
I'm doing okay. I kind of starting out slow this morning. I've got a little bit of my thighs are hurting this morning, and I put us all on this morning so that if anybody else wants to come on from the other states, they can, and we can get up to 10 people on the platform. So, Alicia, I told them a little bit about you. Introduce yourself, and then let's get into it, shall we? We know it's flu season, and I just want to get into a deeper topic because we are live on Facebook, and maybe we can enlighten some people.
Yes.
So welcome,
Well,
welcome, welcome.
thank you for having
Welcome.
me. I don't know where to start, but um, I kind of
Mind,
started my
body, and soul.
whole. Kind of started my mind, body, and soul journey back in 2019. It was kind of weird. Um, Being from Georgia and relocating here for my son's medical needs, and just kind of figuring out like what works for him and myself. Um, because he has a lot going on. So within that, I was just really started digging deep into holistic health and remedies. Um, and reading about herbs and how it could, help the whole body, not just the human, but just your mind as well. So I came across the lady named Armani. Um, and a lot of the things that she was saying made a lot of sense, right? And at this time, I was just getting back into school because I had took a break because I had to take care of my son. And so when I took a sociology class, it kind of just made a lot of sense because luckily one of my professors was really just teaching um, about how certain things have an effect on our mental without even knowing. So I kind of took that into perspective. Like I said, my journey started in 2019. I'm a single mom. My son, he's 4. He has complex medical needs. And basically, I work with him. And so I do get the time to focus on my education as well as watch him grow, assist with him. So he gets like other therapies, speech, occupational, physical. I've added some other therapies, music, and massage. Because when you're dealing with children that have like certain disabilities, you really start to understand them. And it's deeper than just being like a medical thing, right? I'm learning about how I contribute and how
Uh-huh.
he's contribute to
Oh yeah, I'm
my
trying to
human
get my
mind and body growth.
I'm trying to get my watch.
So um I'm in school right now trying to get my psychology major, but I'm also a pre-nursing student, so I'm taking my prereqs also. Um, and I happened to run into Jewel just one day because I was getting life insurance, and we just had a conversation and hit it off from there. And so I immediately knew it was just kind of like a connection because I could talk to her about any and everything, and so I
Chip,
um, got a
just
little
turn.
background on her. And from there, like every conversation that we've had has been really, really like amazing. Like I was telling her last night, I've got into reading a lot of books. I've been reading this book called The Four Agreements and how that has helped shift my mind with a lot of things, right? Um, we all have 4 agreements that we can make to ourselves. I know my favorite one was being impeccable with your word, um, and just using your word in a positive way because society today, especially in my age group, like we're all into the shade room. And the shade room, yeah, there's like some good things on there, but it tends to be a lot of negative gossip. So the author begins to introduce me into the word black magic and how a lot of these social media platforms tend to use black magic within the community. And so being impeccable with your word, you want to make sure that whatever you're putting out into the universe, make sure it's positive. You don't want to keep gossiping because what does that
Right.
do? What you're gossiping eventually becomes your reality if you keep doing that.
Yeah,
Also
that's a
not
good thing.
Yeah, and also not taking things personal. um at all either, because everyone does have their own personal opinion, but their opinion shouldn't really reflect how you feel about yourself, right?
Right.
um so when you're not taking things personal, it's more so just being aware of how other people talk and what they say, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have nothing to do with you, because a lot of the things that people say tend to be a reflection of maybe their ego and how they view themselves. So you can't let people's words just have a negative effect on you. If someone's like, oh, you're this, even if the message tends to be positive,
Uh-uh.
because at the end of the day, you know who you are, you know yourself, you know your worth, right? We don't need anyone else to validate who we are and what we do.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So we can, get into a deeper conversation about it
Hmm.
because, a lot of people think, getting in alignment and making healthy choices is for a certain group of people. But
Hmm.
now I'm starting to see that everybody's starting to use those words. Let's be positive. Um, but what do they really know? What we really need to do to stay positive. So, like I was saying, this is deep conversation one on one because a lot of
That's
people
interesting.
uh, they think they know how to do it,
I'll be able to
but
pick it
it's
on you
commitment.
though.
And so let's talk about that. You know, holding people accountable, doing
Yes.
what they need to do um, to make healthy choices. We want to go
Yes.
this way?
What you
Okay.
doing with me?
That's
So, yeah,
honestly, self accountability is really huge. And that has been a huge part of my journey within myself, right? Because you have to eventually look back at you, look at yourself. Like you have to be like, okay, if a certain person has treated you a certain way for so long, right? You could blame the other person, but in reality, it all reflects back on you, how you treat yourself. How do you treat yourself? How do you love yourself? How do you nurture yourself? Um,
right.
you have to pour into yourself first. That's literally how it all starts. You want to be the love, right? You want to be the love that you receive or give. So it all starts with you. All of that starts literally with you. So when you are kind to yourself, you could be kind to others. When you are positive with yourself, you could spit off that positive affirmation to other individuals. Um,
Exactly.
it all
Oh,
starts with you. Self accountability. That is something that I learned. Even when there's like if you feel like a relationship that you had been involved in, right? You can't be so quick to point the finger like you. In
right.
reality, it has a lot to deal with you. Why did you allow that person to do that? Did anybody put a gun to your head to say that, like did the person say like, oh, well, if you don't do this, then this is this. No, it really starts with you.
Exactly. And so what would I remember had a conversation, but we got even deeper and started talking about how people say things to appease others, but yet they're not doing it for themselves. Basically, they're doing it to make for whatever reason other than themselves. And that's what getting in alignment is all about. We go through the motions. I had mentioned that earlier, but are we really doing it for ourselves or are we doing it for other people?
I think a lot of people just do it for them. Like A real individual will sit in the mirror and look at themselves. And if you say you want loyalty, because I think that's what we were talking about, people talk about loyalty and stuff. It's just like, how do you want loyalty when you're not even loyal to yourself? You're
To
not
yourself.
consistent. You're not
Exactly.
consistent with
Right.
yourself. It's almost like simple, simple agreements that you have with yourself. You don't have to follow the four agreements that are in
Huh?
a book. You can make your own agreements to yourself.
Right now
You
Right.
we're at
know, like if
1.6.
you're trying,
So I'll see when we go back around.
Okay.
I just got it to pull up.
Oh, good.
Turn your mic off. Push your. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, and that's what I'm talking about is loyalty to yourself. How are you going to commit to reaching goals if you're not loyal to yourself? If you put everything first except for yourself, how are you going to reach goals? And that was my point. It's like, you know, we all do things, we all have a life, we all have stuff to do. But at what point does it become loyal to yourself first?
right,
You
you
know, we
have to look
say,
at that.
I'm black first. We say everything else but self. And I don't know if people think
No,
that
I need
it
today.
means that that you're conceited. No, you got to love yourself first
Hmm.
before you can do anything. So that was my point for bringing up that subject, because without being loyal to yourself and quit putting everybody in front of you and doing everything but self, there's no way you can get mind, body, and spirit in total alignment if you don't put yourself first. It's
Yeah,
not conceited. It means you love yourself.
right. And
What do you think?
a lot of people will call you selfish because you're putting yourself first. It's like
Yeah,
self-preservation, like you have to do that. That is a must. Um, and I do feel like that is a huge, it's a very important factor in it all, right? Because that's the only way you're
right,
going to get closer to God, your higher being, or whomever it is that you believe, right?
right.
Because I
That's what I
think
say.
God is going to demand that of you. Like that's just to serve your purpose, you know? In a lot
Well,
of
thank you for saying that, because I've been saying that about people finding their purpose. How do you know what your purpose is? Is if you're doing everything but spending time with yourself, which
mhm,
brings the COVID thing. I think
mhm,
COVID has allowed people to get in touch with themselves, but yet we still have that old mentality that we had before COVID. They want to get out, they want to party, they want to mingle, they want to do
mhm,
everything but
mhm,
take care of themselves. And so, yeah, but when you say that and you bring it to the attention of, the thing is, I don't think people like being held accountable. That's what I've noticed. If you
um,
make people accountable, they don't
mhm.
like that. You're
Yeah,
not popular. I'm not trying to be popular, but I say the same thing. You got to hold people accountable.
it's so I felt like when the whole pandemic started and the world literally kind of just stopped, like we were all in the house, right? Like there was really nothing much that you could do. Like you were going to the grocery store for fun. I think at this point in time, a lot of people really started to lose their mind. Like they really, it was really crazy. But how I took it, me being a spiritual person, was the time to actually get in tune not only with myself, but figure out like just be more close with my son, right? I'm always in that house with him, right? but everything had completely stopped. Some of his services stopped. We switched everything to telehealth. That was difficult. I was like, this is not going to work. So it made me really just start seeing things unfold, like how we're so used to the matrix of things, right? Because now you're seeing it. You're seeing how things are, right? When the pandemic first started, it was really like it was kind of chaotic, but then it was calm. Because what people really should have done this whole entire time was you should have took the time to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
If all the spas and nail salons and things were closed, you could take this time to pamper yourself and do it for yourself. I literally turned my home into what I would call like a luxury spa or whatever. I really started making my home into places that if I wanted to go to the spa, then my home is my spa. I would treat me and my son that way. I started cooking more. Um, I mean, I don't eat a particular way, like I'm not vegan or anything, but I don't eat beef and pork and dairy and all of that. And
Yeah.
luckily, thank God, my son and I have been COVID free this whole time. And I'm so thankful for that. I
Yeah.
really, I'm so thankful. Um, but it does start with yourself. And that's kind of is crazy because like I said, I started the journey in 2019. And up until there is still a learning process. You don't have to always have it all the way there. But it's the fact that I'm aware and I'm working towards all of that. Because you gotta think it you I have a lot of unlearning to do, right? Because society has taught us that basically we depend on the government. We depend on Western medicine. You depend
Yeah.
on a vaccine. And I don't think people realize that. I'm not vaccinated, but I have been vaccinated before as a young girl, right? Like that's just certain things you have to educate yourself on a lot of things today. Because right now, what society is putting out on the news, I feel like the news tends to be a negative, right? But that's just how we get all our resources. Like that's just how we are learning about what's going on in the world today, right? So a lot of people don't have that's just their reference. They just go straight to the news.
All
The
right.
thing that irritates me about the news is it's always negative and it's always depressing to see, you know, numbers and all of that. But besides that, I
Yeah.
want people to really understand like we were all unvaccinated, yeah, last year, you know. And yeah, there were people, COVID is very real. I believe COVID is real. I'm not gonna tell you that it's not because it is. I know and I have family members and friends that were affected by that, you know. But what
Yeah.
irritates me about the news is you don't have to just push the vaccine. You don't have to just push the vaccine that hard. Why can't you tell people what it is that we need to do to stay away? Like, yeah, you're saying masks, but then they're saying masks don't work, but masks do work. It's like a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
The COVID
That's
vaccine
the thing
works.
I say. We're doing everything but teaching people how to boost their immune system.
Hmm.
So that right there, um, like I said, you can't get the government involved in everything. This is a pandemic, and that's my thing. Educate, educate, educate. Let's
Hmm.
get people to educate themselves about how to stay healthy. But
Hmm.
in turn, we're getting people out here doing stuff as if there's no pandemic. So
Yeah.
that's my concern. If you're going to be out there, then this is perfect timing to get your immune system in order and
Hmm.
still continue to practice. I see Joyce and Donna Kay are awful quiet. because I was just trying to get everybody in the conversation. So go ahead, I'll let you continue. And if anybody has anything to say, this is a conversation. Feel
Yeah.
free to jump in.
Feel free to jump in, disagree, because I love hearing other people's insight. I think a lot of people think that unvaccinated people are like feel like it's a conspiracy theory or they're gonna put a chip in us, and I'm like, no, that's really not what it is. Like it's really just I don't trust what's going on. And even when we talk about herbs, right? So when although I know people may see that herbs are come becoming like real, like you could really go to what is it, Sprouts or Whole Foods and probably grab those, that becomes an issue because when they start being able to sell natural herbs in these stores, that should let you know something that they didn't. It's not even going to have its real good benefits. Like
Uh-huh.
if I'm seeing sea mosses and being sold in stores now, that makes me wonder. And I don't think people are aware of the benefits that sea moss has. Sea moss
Yeah.
has like 91 out of 101 or 102 of the minerals that our body really needs, right? That's a natural herb. But when the government starts messing with stuff, it loses its benefits. So for me, my big thing is just educating myself, right? I see a lot of posts about a lot of doctors talking about what will happen if people tend to keep on getting these vaccinations. And of course, I know a lot of people have pre-existing conditions that is like really, really, especially in the African American community, right? We have diabetes, high blood pressure, and above and beyond, right?
Yeah.
And they're pushing it hard. That's why people are saying that's like, well, duh. That's why they want people to get vaccinated because we're the ones that have the most pre-existing conditions. But I'm like, do y'all not realize that it's the food that we're eating? If you don't have to be completely vegan. Like, I don't recommend that because in reality, I need my meat. But I don't eat beef or pork, and I don't do dairy. If you do those things, I will say do it in moderation. Try not to do it as much,
You don't do
because
berries? What did you say you don't do?
I don't do beef and pork or dairy.
Okay.
I really
Okay.
just stick to kind of like a regular like chicken. I may do seafood, but even still, it's just like it doesn't really matter what you do, just as long as you're doing it in moderation.
Right,
If
right.
you don't eat it every day, then you're fine, right? If you're not drinking a cup of milk every day, because then I'm learning about how the body works. We're supposed to use the bathroom after every meal, right? But just think about how many people don't even do that. And then all of that stuff just sits in your gut. And it just
Well, the
rots
thing about it
away.
is, yeah, that's what it's all about.
Hmm.
Giving the knowledge and the why. Like I say all the time, everybody's body chemistry is different.
Yes.
So, you know, now people are starting to realize the less meat you eat, the more active you are, the better results you get.
Hmm.
But yeah, we have to get into get to the place where we know ourselves, we know what our body wants and needs. That's imperative. But go ahead. I just know that everybody's different. People,
Yeah.
unless they have an ear to hear, they're
Hmm.
not going to receive it anyway. So we can
Yeah.
talk about what people aren't doing. But at the end of the day, if they don't receive it,
Hmm.
I'm not, there's no need to put that energy out there because you have to be ready to receive it. You have to get your mind right so that you can receive it and you can be consistent. It's just like martial arts or anything when you have to put your mind to it,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of elements into the equation. But until people start to change their mindset, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter if they eat
It doesn't
chicken every
matter.
day,
Yeah.
beef every day. You've got to change your mindset. And that's the only way to see success, to me. But
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think?
Uh,
Um,
I'm trying to check our mouse.
Say it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I got to catch up with them. I can't hear. Put your touch your mic for me so I can walk next to you. Hold on for a second, Alicia. Go
No
ahead.
problem.
You were saying what?
Yeah, I was checking my things. But as far as getting to know our body so that we can
Oh, go ahead.
know, I'm gonna talk with you because I'm checking the mouse.
Oh,
Is what I do is I chart down what I eat.
Mhm.
That way I know what is keeping me from having that bowel movement
Mhm.
or what's making me have an excessive bowel movement.
Right.
So I think that keeping a good journal on your foods too is a good idea. That way you learn what it is that's helping you to do
Yeah.
whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's your bowel movements, your weight, your
Mhm.
inflammation.
Mhm.
Um, and see, I make charts. I
Mhm.
go on the computer and I'll put in, plug in different slots,
Mhm.
okay, and chart everything that I'm doing so I'll know, okay, last week, this is how much weight I lost. This is how many times my knees hurt, became inflamed, swollen.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Um, then I can go back and see what I ate.
mm-hmm,
And then, two, checking the sodium content of this food, too. I can
Mhm.
check to see, okay, did I eat out? Um, what did they cook this food with? But usually, most of the times I go out, I have a salad with chicken
Mhm.
or a salad with salmon or some
Yeah.
type of fish. So I'm not getting all of that too. And then again, supplements.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people take a lot of different supplements, but like
Yeah.
if you're going the holistic way, you got to find out which supplements is good for you. And I
Mhm.
think the key thing too is, like you were saying, you got to educate yourself on what that is. A
Yes,
lot of people
ma'am.
don't know what
oh, go ahead.
supplements are. Everybody thinks you got to take a pill, but
Right.
no, you get it from the foods that you eat,
Yes.
um, from different grains and stuff.
Mhm.
I start cooking with sea moss. I'll sprinkle some sea moss on some foods, on my
Mhm.
salad. Flaxseed if I'm not having a good bowel movement. Um, so you just have to know what's good for your body. Um, like Bruce was saying, he made a pot of greens. That's another thing. Rubbish, um, all leafy green stuff,
Yes.
vegetables, dark green leafy,
Yes.
shall I say. Um, you just have to know what's good and what's not good for your body.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, I
And
agree
that's
with
good.
everything that you're saying. Yeah, because
Thank
I
you.
have two. I have well, not a thyroid problem. One of I think it was my T3 4
Mhm.
or T4. One of them was just a little off
Mhm.
to the doctors,
Mhm.
but their norms is not really our norms.
It's
These
not.
norms are usually um, conducted with people that's not us.
Right.
So my norm is not the same as theirs. That's why I was telling him this has probably been my normal forever.
Right.
So
And the thing is, they don't listen to black women in the healthcare field. It's like whatever we feel or whatever we say gets pushed to the side, and a lot of people don't understand that. And you are
Yeah.
so right. Our DNA, us
Mhm.
compared to other people, is really different. And that's what I wanted to ask you, Joel, because there's a book that says that we should eat based off of our blood type.
Right.
And I'm gonna order that book because I'm interested. Because I feel like when we start eating towards our blood type, right, that's gonna be, I don't know what doors that's gonna open, but I feel like it's a good door because now you're aware, you know. And it's things like what you guys are doing today, like you're taking the step. That's a commitment and agreement to yourself,
Right.
you know. And the fact is that you could sit there and make a chart and you're aware of what you've ate, how was your bowel movement, what caused an ache or pain today. That's amazing. And
Plan.
all of that, all of this, the whole mind, body, and soul, with everything that we have going on, it really takes discipline, and it's hard. You know, it's hard. You know, it's, even if it's like one day you have that day where you're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna treat myself. Let me have a cake or let me have a piece of candy or something, you know?
Mhm.
So it's just the fact that, you know, you could look and you're aware of things. And when you made the statement about, you know, talking with your doctor, because of course doctors are going to look at everything completely different. My son, he's on a keto diet. And
Mhm.
so talking to the doctors, right? My son, everybody asks me how the keto diet is going. I'm like, the keto diet for my son, that was kind of like the last resort for me. Well, not really, because you could do CBD oil for epilepsy and all that, but keto has helped with him for the most part, you know. And my son, he is very like, he doesn't look 4 years old. And so what has worked for him, so they say with children on keto, it tends to stunt their growth, and their bones are easy to break and stuff, right? My son, on the other hand, he's built like he's very strong and he's
Mhm.
tall. So it's like everything that they said that would be negative side effects for him has actually been positive because he's been growing. He's just really slim, which we're aware of. Like the keto's not. I mean, it's a diet that consists of proteins and fats. You know, in a lot of things that doesn't really take for you to be a high professional. A lot of the things that I've learned has been teachable to me because, like I said, my son, he spent 6 long months in the NICU. And so I was with nurses and doctors almost for like 5 or 6 hours. I would be in the NICU with him. And even
Yeah.
then, after he was let out the NICU, his grandmother, who's a nurse practitioner, you know, she gave me insight on like how doctors work and what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So she actually helped with my son's journey too. And so now I have a close relationship with my son's doctors, right? Because I have to advocate for him as well as myself. I like, if I need something, like it needs to be done, you know. As African Americans, some things get pushed to the side when it comes to us, you know. So I have to have advocates for me too, because
Right.
believe me, if they don't listen, that's my whole reason for coming to Denver, Colorado, because when I was in Georgia, the
Uh-huh.
the doctors weren't listening to me when I said something was wrong with my son. And it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Alicia, can
mhm.
you tell them what the disorder is? Because, or are you able to type it into on the comments in Facebook, and so that they know, like you said, you, this is a I'll let you speak on that.
So my son was diagnosed with infantile spasms in 2018. Um, and from my point of view, how I viewed it as my son would literally, he was doing everything that seemed appropriate for his age, right? And with infantile spasms, it looks different for everybody else. It looks really different, but how I saw it is it was almost like a computer glitch. You know, when a computer has a glitch, it just shuts down and everything reboots and starts over, right? But for my son, it literally what it did for him, a lot of it took a lot of everything that he learned away. So when he was able to sit up, it's like all of that stops once he would have a spasms. The spasms were I can't tell you how many I would see a day, but I just know it had an effect on him. And basically, they said if I didn't find infantile spasms, that it basically causes brain damage. You know, so that's immediately I'm just like, okay, well, we got to get on it. We started out with the highest those steroids, and that was even nervous for me. Um, you know, I had to inject my baby with needles morning and night, you know. And that helped, and then we went to another medication um that could affect his vision. You know, I worried about a lot of things, but I was still on top of his services and stuff, making sure, you know, he doesn't fall, you know, in the loops of getting lost, you know. Um, and so then 2019 we did an EEG, and his EEG came back abnormal, but we weren't seeing any signs of spasms. So an abnormal EEG means that um, there is some abnormal brain waves going on. It's something abnormal about it, but you're not seeing it. So we just stayed on the medication, and then I started to see another spasm late in the year. And the doctor's like, well, we could either do the other steroid where you're injecting him, or we could do the keto diet. And my first thing when I'm asking these doctors, okay, so what are the cons of this diet? You know, because I'm really worried. I'm like, okay, well, what is it now? Because everything seems to have a long term effect later down the line. And that's when I had to change my son's doctor because I felt like he didn't really care. You know, he was like, well, we could do this and that. And if not, we could just put him on another medication and then we'll just keep doing on like he's a test baby. And I'm like, he's not a test baby. Like, we need to do something that is going to be beneficial. Because honestly, I was thinking about CBD over anything. But the keto has had my son spasm free. So then this put him at a diagnosis called Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. Now, Lennox-Gastaut syndrome is like it's a very I don't want to say it's common, but it's something that a lot of different epilepsy disorders fall up under upon, if that makes sense. Um, because I'm still learning about everything. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm just the mom that's trying to understand everything that's going on with my son, you know.
Right.
So I do
I'm
have to
saying
educate
good
myself.
morning to Bobby. Sorry,
Good
Alicia, I didn't mean
morning.
to cut you off. We have a new person. Bobby is on, and Bobby, this is Bobby from Mississippi. So we've got Mississippi in the house. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good,
Are you walking and
good morning,
talking?
everyone.
Oh,
I'm in my
you're
I'm in I'm in my truck now, but I'm on my way to my walking station. I have a walking trail. I'll be there in about 6 more minutes. So if you want to bring me in Once I get out of the truck, that'll be fine, Jewel.
Okay, thank you for joining. So, Alicia, Bruce, he's already popped off, but he's walking, and Donna Kay's walking. So yeah, go ahead, and this is the same. Just use the same link to when you get to your walking session or station, and we'll add you back on. Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Y'all keep the faith. Okay.
All right. We got about. I think we only have one more lap. Anybody keeping up with the laps?
Yep, this is our third.
How many miles? Is this
We
three?
were at 2.4 back there,
Okay.
so we're close.
Okay. So we got a little bit longer. So we'll wait for you to come back on, Bobby.
Well, I'm
Okay.
gonna stay on. I'm at a parking site now. I'm just gonna go ahead and stay on because I know you guys
Okay.
are not gonna be much longer. I'm just gonna stay with you, Jewel.
Oh,
Okay.
that's perfectly fine. Okay, thank you. And so go ahead and put you back on mute, Bobby. And then Alicia, I didn't mean to cut you off. And what were you saying? You were telling them you were just now starting to mention. So go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you
Yeah,
off.
you're fine. You're okay. I was just mentioning my son's diagnosis, and I was just saying, like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. A lot of this just came about just trying to understand, like, what's going on with my son, making sure because they do pay
Stop
attention to
again.
that. Like, you have
That's okay.
to,
You
I
might
feel like when you have to
so
know
you're
a little bit
better.
of something. Although they may use a lot of medical terminology, I always try and have them explain it in a way to that I can understand because doctors will use a lot of medical terminology and then they'll just have you looking lost. Like, what does that mean? Or what is that? No, no question is a dumb question because, like you said, it's your body and you want to know everything that's going on with it. So when it comes to my son, I'm like, okay, well, can you kind of explain it? Like, what does that mean? And so just having to follow up now with my son having another EEG coming up towards the end of this month, um, I really had to put my critical thinking cap on because I was trying to figure out like why or where, you know, um, am I starting to see something that may look like a spasm or a seizure? And just meeting with his doctors and, showing her what I saw because it's really good to document everything that you see that's going on with your body, you know. Um, you must do that because if not, they won't believe you. It's like they almost have to see it. So just talking and understanding my son's diagnosis overall kind of helped me and put me in the place to where I feel like I found my purpose, which is my purpose is my son. That is every parent's responsibility or purpose in life is their child to do the best they can for their child. But also for me, I felt like it's to be in the healthcare field and to educate ourselves on what it is that we could do. Because like I said, is we've learned a particular way our whole entire life and still learn. Even when I go through nursing school, I'm gonna learn how to do things a certain way, right? But does that pertain to us? It doesn't. I don't feel like it does. So that's why I'm trying to educate myself on what it is I need to do to assist my son and myself. I think you're on mute, Joel. You're still on mute, Jewel. You're still on mute.
I can't hear anything.
Jewel, I think you're still on mute.
I'm sorry. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. All right. I was looking at the notes and everything. Stand by. Okay, go ahead, Donna Kay.
Okay, so what I was saying was
I think I lost signal, or because I know your mic is muted, but I the sound went out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you fine now.
Oh, okay, it's Bruce. You're popping in and out.
It
So
went
you can
something with
just
the sound went out. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. And see, I don't have your sound. I'm hearing you on their phone.
you're on Facebook, are you? Oh, you're backstage. Okay. Okay. Okay, y'all. I think have this our last lap, right?
Mhm.
So, Bobby's walking. Let's welcome Robert Miller to our walk and talk. He started walking. He's walking with us. Bobby is from Mississippi. I think he put us on mute. But let's talk. What else can we talk about, Alicia? We were talking about deep conversation. This is the time to get in alignment. I know people talk about scripture and they're quoting scriptures, but what part? Where did they forget about taking care of your temple, which is really important. That's part of getting in alignment. So we had a little conversation about that while we're waiting for Bobby to come back on. Um, let's take
Good
this.
morning.
Let's take this one.
We're trying to get that exact line.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Walk all around the park. You
I'm
don't
saying
have to
so they'll
just
get
keep
the exact
walking. There's
line.
beautiful parks to see. But go ahead. I need
Because
to follow you then because I'm walking and talking. I'll follow you. Give us something fun. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like just walking in a circle. I like to walk so it's fun, where we're
we can
having
go from the
fun
right.
and we can see things. Okay, Bobby was saying good morning. Okay, hi, Bobby. How is it in Mississippi?
It is well. It's cloudy today, and it's a chance for rain. Uh, but I'm grateful to be out, and I'm so grateful that you reminded me of the walk. I probably wouldn't have went this early, but I'm glad to be
Oh,
on. I haven't been
good.
able to hear much of it. Yeah, I
Well,
haven't been able to hear much of it, Jewel, because I went ahead and decided to walk. I'm on the road, and so the car traffic is impairing my hearing. So, but I am grateful, and I will try to remain with you on Saturdays. This is an excellent idea. It's very encouraging and inspiring to help those of us that don't do much exercise. I'm limited, but I'm grateful.
right.
So y'all pray much for me.
All right, we shall. And I know we had a few more in other states who can't be with us today, but let's just hope that next week or week after next, we'll all come together on one platform. At least we can get up to 10 people on this platform. And if anybody's watching and they want to be added to the platform, uh, just put your comment in the comment section and I will send you the link to be added on the platform that we're on right now. I'm trying to stay safe, watch my surroundings, but Bobby's got his t-shirt on all the way in Mississippi. Thank you for look at him. He's got his t-shirt on. That means he is one of the Simply Julians. Go ahead, Bobby. Thank you. So, what else are we talking about? I'm glad that you feel like this is a good idea. And we just want to bring awareness to people. Not necessarily, people always say, it's your delivery. Well, let's just hold people accountable. It's not the delivery. That means you don't want to be committed to yourself because all I'm doing is providing a platform for people to walk and talk. Now we've been walking and talking for over an hour and we're almost done. The beauty about this is you can walk and talk with people and get your walk in. And as Donna Kay said a couple of weeks back, um, had she been walking by herself, she would not have accomplished it. The 5 miles. Maybe she would have. What'd you say, Donna?
Now, walking with people, especially the conversation with Bruce and I having, it kind of took my mind off of the walk itself that I was walking.
Yeah.
I was able to walk more, but if I was walking by myself, I would have noticed my knees had started to hurt a little, and I would have quickly got off my route and went home.
Yeah, see? So it's evident that walking and talking, you can reach goals, accomplish goals. Now, and then, like I say, let's get on a topic that we can talk about, and everybody has an opinion. So that's what this is all about, walking and talking, and we watch out for one another. We see oncoming traffic. Everybody's got their phone on and walking and talking like, okay, ah, like walking and talking and coming up with topics, mostly health and wellness. And yeah, we understand the Western medicine, many of us that are medical, but at this time and at this point in life, we have to understand it's all about making healthy choices. They're not going to tell you how to uh, boost your immune system. Well, not all, some will. But we are in the times where we're dealing with flu season coming. We're dealing with, uh, we're still dealing with COVID, and people aren't taking that seriously either. So, what's important? What's important is knowing what foods to eat, what foods for your body, what helps to sustain you. That's what we're trying to do. And that's what's important. That's why I think this platform is important. And I thank Bobby for saying that because he's all the way in Mississippi and he's participating. And I got some more text messages, but I don't know. Maybe people didn't get their notifications, but we are live and you're welcome to come on the platform. I think Angie just text something, but I can't. I need 2 phones, y'all. So I keep saying that's what I'm gonna do. Get another phone so I can navigate. I don't see so I can navigate the StreamYard and then I'll be able to text responses because I can't do it all on my cell phone while I am recording. Did you notice if I went off or can you still hear me? Alicia, Bobby?
Still, I
I
can
can
still
hear
hear
you.
you.
I can hear you, Drew.
Okay, great.
Drew,
I'm sorry, y'all.
Drew,
I got a client after I'm done walking. So, what else can we talk about? Anything else?
hey,
Uh-oh.
can someone,
Say it again. Uh-oh.
Oh, I think he got knocked off.
Oh, Donna Kay is knocked off. Or wait, who? Bobby did?
No, yeah, I think Bobby.
Say it again. Oh, I think he did get knocked off. Okay, I'm getting ready to add him back on. Okay. All right. You're back on. You're back on. Somebody's, oh, he might be in a dead zone.
Oh, okay, I'm back on. But I was
Okay.
asking before my camera got interrupted. I wanted to know if you guys could share some of the food items to eat for more healthier eating. I've been on a um vegetable, no bread and no sugar here since the 23rd of July. I but I get to eat six saltine unsalted crackers or
Uh-huh.
either one slice of rye bread or whole wheat bread. But I've tried to go without the bread altogether. Can you guys share some food items?
So, food items, I tell you what, right now, boosting the immune system, the best thing is like green leafy vegetables. Now, everybody's different. So, this is part of the problem, is that we don't understand that everybody's different. Somebody needs to mute. Okay. And so, um, green, like green peppers, is one of the highest sources that you can eat. Spinach, and then a lot of people, you know what I like to do? There's a medley that I like, and it's cabbage and kale and onion and garlic. Um, um, and let's see. I even once you mix it with olive oil, and then you kind of like put it in a wok and sear it, and then you add like okra. But the best thing to do at this point is to continue using all the green leafy vegetables. Wait, let's see something. Is everybody on or on mute? I'm hearing a crackling. Is that me?
That's probably me.
Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, those are the things. And then sleep is important. Everybody, sleep is very important, especially during these times. You've got to get your sleep in. And, it used to be for me, even for myself, I could function off of maybe 4 to 6 hours of sleep. But during COVID, 8 hours is essential because what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with the cells in our body. So the older we get, the more mature we get, we don't need a lot of meat. We definitely need to stay mobile, and we definitely need to get our vitamins in, especially with the foods not being very nutritional. So it's okay to take a vitamin supplement. It's okay to take vitamin D and vitamin C, especially during these times. But most importantly, get your fruits and vegetables in. Now, I will say some people can't do fruit. Some people are allergic to the citrus. But the most important thing is to understand your blood. What are your blood values doing? See, we're in a time now where we can't even go to the doctors and get a regular physical. So some people don't even know their blood levels right now. They don't know if they're lacking iron. They don't know if they're lacking potassium or calcium. So you got to eat these foods until you can get till you can get in with your doctor. You got to start eating these foods because some people are going to the doctor and they can get in, there's no problem. But what we're not understanding is this is a regional thing as well. When in people like uh, people that lived on the East Coast was telling people to quarantine, but people were still traveling. Altitude is so it's a conglomerate of things. So that's what I want people to get used to is to start understanding their region, understand their body, understand that you need to know what your blood levels are doing before you can do anything. Some people are just taking zinc just for the heck of it. But do they know that they have to eat? You can't just take vitamins on an empty stomach. Some vitamins make you nauseous. So these are the things that I'm trying to help people with. It's not just a quick fix um, solution. We literally, it takes time to get in alignment. It takes time to know what your body needs. But what I will say in short is if you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling um, lethargic, like tired, uh, you don't know if you're having heart palpitations, you got to reduce your carbohydrates. That's a plus and a must. You got to reduce some of the things that's causing you to feel the way you're feeling. So, most importantly, reduce your carbs, increase your vegetables, and know what your vegetables, what the nutritional value is. A lot of people are just eating, just to be eating. But most people know, like, say, for example, you're lacking vitamin D and vitamin C. Everybody knows to increase their fruit that's high in vitamin C, like oranges. But some people can't eat oranges. So you have to eat other, like other foods, vegetables. Like we all know, greens, kale is high in vitamin K. But if you are on a blood thinner, you can't eat that kind of stuff. Or you can only eat a portion. But that's when you talk to your doctor so that you know what interacts with your medication. So, Bobby, are you on medication? Uh-oh, did he? Can't tell if Bobby's on. Uh, yeah. So Bobby dropped. So if he rewinds it, and so is uh-oh. Okay, I added Alicia back on. Sorry, I think we're winding down. And Bobby, I was asking him if he was on medication because a lot of times people don't know what to eat, and they don't
Yeah.
know what the nutritional value is. People just say, oh, I'm eating healthy. Okay, so how much omega-3 are you putting in your body? Do you know
Right.
your portions? You see? So this
Hmm.
is what I'm saying. It's deeper than what people know. You can say you're eating healthy all day long, but do you know how much? Like, let's just say salmon. I eat salmon, okay? In a serving, how many milligrams of omega-3 are you eating? Some people just fix their plate. They don't understand portion. That's why I say it's deeper than that. So that's why I try to support people, because it's deeper than just knowing that you're eating healthy. You got to know what corn. You got to know, okay, coconut oil or spinach or kale. Do you know how many micrograms or milligrams or units? Some people I talk to, I say, okay, are you taking vitamin D? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, how many IUs? They're like 5,000. So I'm like, 5,000? Do you know what your vitamin D range is? No. Okay, so why are you taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D and you don't even know the range, which should be anywhere from what, 90 to 120? If you're in the higher end, because we are people of color on this platform, you need to be up higher than 120. Well, not higher than 120, but 90 and over. Like I know for one part, we were like my vitamin D levels were so far down, and that's what people are starting to find out, that the vitamin D levels are so far down. Their doctors giving them 50,000 IUs, and then they take every week for what, 90 days? That's because their vitamin D level is so far down, which in my mind, on my science side, I think I'm starting to think people whose vitamin D levels were very low were subjected to COVID. Okay, that's just my 2 cents. So that's why I say it's good to come and talk to people, because some of us have creative thinking minds, see, and we can talk about it and probably come up with a solution. But yet
Yeah.
we're the ones that it's gone. It's so political now. Uh, People aren't really paying attention. What they're doing is just following trend, and that's one thing I don't do, is follow the trend. I dare to be different. But anyway, Alicia, we have come to the end of our live. I want to thank you for coming on, and hopefully, are you going to get to walk with us anytime soon?
Yeah, I definitely would like to.
Good. Well, they seem to have stopped, and their phones have probably um, gone dead.
Hmm.
So I'm at my we're finishing up here. So yeah. Anywho, I appreciate you coming on, and Bobby, if you are still listening, just keep getting the fruits and vegetables in. Remember to stay away from large crowds. Everybody continue to wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Keep your mask on if you're vaccinated or not, because we are in a time where uh, we definitely need to stay safe and protect ourselves, increase our fruits and vegetables. If you do get a chance to go to the doctors, make sure you get a complete blood test so you know exactly what your body's lacking. So, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll keep in touch and come back. Hopefully, you'll get to join us and come on live. Um, I know it's early here. I do have clients after this, so I'm looking like I don't know what I'm looking like, but it doesn't matter. I'm getting my workout on. So thanks a lot, Alicia.
Have a good one.
You
Thank
guys want to
you.
say goodbye to Alicia? Bye.
Bye, Alicia. This is
Bye. Bye. Nice
Okay.
meeting
our
you.
phones died. We're sorry.
Yeah.
No problem. It was nice
Okay.
meeting you guys. I hope to be there on a walk with you guys one morning.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great. I said thank you for the lovely message, and it was well received.
Thank you.
All right. I was trying to. Oh, I'm trying. It's sunny out, so I can barely see. But okay. Thank you, everybody. We're signing off. We've completed. We made our 5 miles or no?
5.06.
5.06 miles.
All
Let's
right.
get it. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you for coming on. We'll do this again next Saturday as the times are going to be changing. We'll probably reduce the walk, but we'll probably do exercises or what have you. Um, if we don't walk, we'll definitely get some workout in. Okay. So thank you so much and have a good day, everybody. Thanks for all the guests that came on. Bye bye.